So listen, the 2020 iPhone SE is going to be the hottest phone to launch this year. It's going to be better than any phone that you've ever seen, ever. It's just going to be the best. There's just nothing that's going to compete. It's hands down going to be the best price, the best everything. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk to you about which phone is better. This is the best thing to ever launch. Just kidding, just kidding. Slow down, pump the brakes. The iPhone SE 2020 is going to be one of the better phones that is going to be coming in a while for Apple in terms of a few reasons. The price point, number one, rumored to go for $349 to $399. We'll see where it launches. I think it's going to be around $399 and go up $50 for the 128 gig and maybe $100 more for the 256 gig. It's also rumored to come in red, silver, and black, which will make sense. Those are three of the most popular colors amongst iPhone buyers. And it's rumored to look very similar to the iPhone 8. And why is this phone really going to be hot though? Besides the sarcastic intro that I just did right there, why is this phone really going to be hot? Well, the first reason this phone is really going to be hot, because we just talked about it a second ago, but really it's just the price. Especially at a time like this with the outbreak going on, people are probably going to steer clear of luxurious $1,000 plus smartphones, although some numbers are indicating that's not the case just yet. Those might be from prior months before this happened. We'll see what happens going into the summer, but right now, buying a phone at $399 might be a much better investment than buying a phone at $1,000. And second of all, there's a lot of people who are just not getting rid of their iPhone SE. They're not getting rid of iPhone 7, iPhone 8 until they see something very similar with Touch ID to what they had. So I think the target is definitely going to be on people who, really just like the old school classic iPhone design. If you have an iPhone 6, this can be another reason to wait on this device. Come on, man. A13 Bionic chip. Come on. This is going to be the hottest, the fastest, the most beast mode little phone that you can buy with an A13 Bionic all stuffed in a 4.7-inch body. Are you serious? Yeah, like the Joker said with the Heath Ledger Joker. Are you serious? Like, really, are you serious with this iPhone SE 2020 that's coming? The 2020 SE, the iPhone, whatever they're going to call it. You know what I'm saying. A13 Bionic chip. Now, some people are going to say, but 3 gigs of RAM. 3 gigs of RAM. We know iOS doesn't need that much RAM to perform. How many times we got to talk about this? We know it. We know iOS doesn't need that much RAM to perform great. And with 3 gigs of RAM, that's actually better than iPhone 6s, iPhone 7. Definitely going to be pretty much on par with like the 8 Plus in the smaller body. The next one is the camera. Yeah, a single camera, but you don't have all these, difficult to learn 17 cameras on a smartphone. With this one, it's going to be a single lens, pull it out, point and shoot. Hopefully it gets the iPhone 11 sensor. That's what it's looking like. If it doesn't, at least the iPhone XR sensor would be nice. But getting the 11 sensor looks like what's going to happen. And if it does happen, that's going to be fantastic, because the sensor that comes in the iPhone 11 is just amazing. I mean, really, really good. With the HDR processing, if they bring that smart HDR to this phone, you're going to have a little beast camera in your pocket, especially doing 4K 60 as well. So the launch, when is this thing expected to come? Well, there's multiple sources across the internet circulating around saying an mid-April, like April 15th, around there kind of launch, and maybe releasing into your hands a week later or so like that. I'll leave some links to those sources down below. You can go read them for yourself. But essentially, a mid-April launch is pretty good timing with this whole, outbreak going on. They're claiming that that's when it's supposed to peak. We'll see what the data looks like. But coming in later in the month, I think, is a much better idea than right now, because this is not a great week when it comes to the pandemic. So I think pushing it off a little bit later is actually a good idea for the iPhone. Although we had fingers crossed it would have launched last Friday. Didn't do so. But overall, I gotta say, I don't think this thing could have came at a better time. Right now is the perfect time to launch the cheapest iPhone that's been launched since like 2016 when the iPhone SE came out. This is an excellent time to do so. Now, a couple of people are saying, look, man, this is not a true SE. Though I don't know why they would call it the SE. This phone is not as small as the original iPhone SE, and that's true. It's actually quite large compared to the iPhone SE at 4.7 inches. That's a pretty big jump, but for people who are on 6, 6S, 7, 8, it's gonna be the same size, which is pretty usable and pretty much what they're used to. So if you're the type of person, and there are some people out there that are like, you know what, man? I am not switching to those new iPhones. I like my Touch ID. I like my classic iPhone, the way it works. I like the way it works. I want Touch ID. I don't care. This new phone is likely gonna be perfect for you. And here's a big one. The reception is supposed to be improved. New wireless antennas are supposed to be coming in this new iPhone. That can be huge because the iPhones usually have pretty bad reception performance. Well, at least the prior ones did, like the iPhone 8, in my opinion, it wasn't the best antennas out there. I would love to see improved wireless performance. That would be great. Yeah, this is obviously at $399, you're not gonna get 5G, although Samsung's rumored to be putting 5G in their cheaper phones as well. You know, still, LTE performance is still strong, even though it's not 5G, it's the best it's ever been. So it's not really gonna be a big deal, I think, for people in this price category. Some of the kickers though, no Face ID, no redesign. It's looking like we're not gonna see that here. I wouldn't be surprised if Apple just throws a total curveball and throws everybody off and they come out with something totally new. That wouldn't be surprising to me, as you know, that would be actually pretty amazing, but it looks pretty likely that's not gonna happen though. Multiple sources saying this is not the case, so that it's gonna be looking just like the iPhone 8. It's more than likely gonna happen, as a lot of these sources have been correct in the past. And another thing about this phone that's really gonna make it hot is just those storage tiers. Yeah, you can get you're gonna be able to get a 256 gig model. If this comes true, that's quite a bit of storage, and if it comes in at like around 500, that's a great deal for an iPhone, because a 256 gig iPhone 11 Pro or Pro Max is extremely more than these phones right here. The 256 gig iPhone 11 is pretty good deal, but this is gonna be an even better deal. So I think that amount of storage at that price is amazing. And it looks like we might see the Plus model. For all the people who love the 8 Plus, I was one of them. We might see a Plus version of this phone also updated, which would be nice, but maybe that won't come till later this year. Maybe it'll launch at the same time. We will see. So in conclusion, with all these rumors circulating, I think there's a huge anticipation, a huge excitement around the launch of a finally upgraded version of Apple's really popular iPhone SE. I think we really wanted to see this phone brought back though, with a bigger screen in the same body. That would have been the dream. But at the same time, we can't fault them if they do bring us a much more compact option than even the iPhone 11 Pro, which has a pretty large screen by comparison to this. It's still gonna be a really compact option. And I think it should sell incredibly well at that price point, especially at a time like now. Really, it's gonna be a great phone to gift to somebody. If you already have an iPhone 11 Pro, 10R, bigger phone like that, maybe you wanna go back down in size, you wanna go back to the classic iPhone design, or maybe you just don't really care about these newer iPhones. You have an older iPhone and you want a cheaper new iPhone that's pretty similar. You don't like change. You're gonna be a great candidate for this as well. In addition to that, you know, people who buy a lot of iPhones, maybe for everyone in their family, they're not gonna pay $1,000 for each iPhone. This could be a great deal as well. I mean, there's a lot of use case scenarios for a budget iPhone. And if it's any indication from the Apple iPad line, the iPad Air, the iPad Mini 5 of last year, yes, this iPhone SE 2020 is gonna sell extremely well. My predictions actually are you're gonna see dates pushed back the minute this thing goes live, the minute this thing launches. I think that within a couple hours, maybe less than that, you're gonna see delayed shipping for like over a week or so, maybe 2 weeks. I think it's gonna sell out that initial batch like that. But what are your thoughts on this? The upcoming 2020 iPhone SE, iPhone 9, it looks like the iPhone 9 rumor has been squashed. We'll see what it is actually called though. What are your thoughts on it? Are you picking one up? Are you super stoked, super excited about this? Let us know down below in the comment section of this video. If you find this video entertaining, informing, helpful, click that like button for me. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.